Hello, my friends. Coming to you this morning, riding, thinking, in the rain. Obviously, recently I finished my fast. I did not go the full 60 days because my weight dropped to 126 pounds, which was my cutoff point that I had expressed from the beginning. But I'm beyond that now. Now I'm thinking about other things. Obviously, I'm not just focused on food and things, although I do center around it a good bit on this channel. There are lots of things in life that we have to consider, like what we are doing on a regular basis with our lives. Are we really happy with our jobs, with our relationships, with where we are headed? And I know that lots of us, especially in America, are struggling with our emotions, with our finances and things like that. But I believe that most of the time it does come back to how we are thinking our lives, how we are considering ourselves. You know, and I think we're just infected by media. Many times, and even today, I've considered, am I part of the problem, am I a solution, am I just the positive antibodies in the bloodstream of life, I guess, you know, the things that are a natural part of the flow. Because there's so much media out there telling us to buy Doritos and Reese's Puffs and 5-hour energy shots, and our programs are exactly that, programming our minds. Even if the television is on in the corner, everything that we see affects us, and it does take great amounts of discipline to not be a part of that. And if you choose to do that in some natural way without being involved in some big organization, some movement for change, and you're not a monk or a priest or all of these things, and you're just an average person out seeking to try to help, if you do involve yourself in that way for change, it seems to be quite a wave against you. And I know from personal experience, it can be daunting, the task of liberating our minds and disciplining ourselves not to spend money all of the time on things. Every time we stop for gas, buying something, we're so conditioned, we're in comfort to eat certain things and overly stimulated. It's amazing. It's amazing. We really do, and I say this all the time, but I'm just as guilty as everyone. And I get so motivated. We need to take our lives back, to reach in and liberate ourselves from the clutches of our government, our religion, our social concepts, and just live as human beings, free to love and to be happy and to not have to struggle to want to kill our neighbor in order to get ahead, to take from them, to hate them for succeeding. Or, you know, in public, to be like, oh, that's so good for you. Clap, 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 clap. But at home thinking, why are they doing it? Look at him, he's got another car, and I'm sitting here struggling eating government cheese. That type of mentality. You know, I think that it's best to accept the help that you can, to work in a job that you hate, as long as you need to, with the goal of moving forward, with the vision and the open eyes to see that there's something out there that you can do to change. Obviously, if you need to dig a ditch long enough to create the method of escape, maybe you're digging yourself out in a literal sense, then do it. But unless our minds change and we get away from all of the nonsense that we're fed by our governments and our leaders, and think about it. if you hear something and you see something and and at first you go, oh, this guy's crazy. Oh, I hate that song. Oh, it makes me sick to think about it. The more we are numb to it and we are exposed to things over and over and over, we begin to accept them as normalities in our lives, as something that is okay. Watching our lands be taken away from us, stripped of all their natural resources. And, and at first we're like, oh, rise up, and we get organizations marching, Then it becomes so natural. Even where I live, watching all the forest just be eliminated in a way that I have never seen before, ever, in my entire life. Sure, logging and things like that done in a correct way are beneficial, but that's not the case. It's like when we discover a new superfood. We go into some village in the Amazon and we run off all the natives and we clear cut everything, or we just take it over and take all the blueberries, for ourselves, and we find a way to manufacture them in a lab somewhere. Then we don't need the real blueberries, so we just completely destroy them. And that's the way we live. I'm highly motivated this morning. If it takes your belief in God or religion or anything to move you, to free you, to liberate you from the control that we have self-inflicted, and it seems to be self-fulfilling and continuating and perpetuating on a level that is just crazy. And when you become awake slightly, and I'm not enlightened in any way, but I feel and I believe that I see slightly differently than other people, and I have since I was a child. Most children do, but it's beaten out of us till we submit. We are slaves. But when you start to see just a little, when you come out of that dream and you look around and you go, how did I get here? It's amazing and it's frightening. And you feel like the only man or the only woman around you that goes, wow. And everyone else appears to be in the dream. And you're afraid that they're all going to notice that you're not like them, that you're awake. And they're going to come after you. And essentially that's what happens. I don't want to sound like some crazy conspiracist, but it's who I am. As far as a philosophy person, not a crazy conspiracist, but my mind is, I'm thinking always. I'm trying to find the cause of my own stupidity, my own ignorance, my own ignorance. And in that process, I see things. Why do we not constantly have one visionary thinker, an Einstein, and Isaac Newton, Confucius, Buddha, Jesus for that matter? Maybe we do. But we continue to crucify them, to dehumanize them, because they stand out, away from everything. We're not ready for it. If something and some concept really came through to liberate us from our technology, or using technology to liberate us, we would miss it because we're blind, chasing after the next device, the next game on our iPod, eating poison, so that the chemicals in our brains slow down to the point where we're just kind of, while the people in the know are moving around, storing up food in bunkers everywhere that's not genetically modified, keeping the knowledge away for themselves. Why is it that we only hear about studies from MIT 10 years after that someone has done it? And we've realized that our government for the last 5 years has been launching cyber attacks on individuals, citizens of America, other countries, everything. When we didn't know the technology existed, maybe some nerds like myself did. It's because we are kept mindless, running around, focusing on things that are unimportant. We have to take back our lives, and we have to do it in every single way. In the way that we dress, in the way that we speak, in the way that we address our brothers and our sisters and our mothers and fathers. The time to change is now. I'm highly motivated today. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to burst into tears. Other times I can't stop feeling so happy and light. But I do know that life can't go on the way it's going. My friends, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. I'm kidding. But we have to do something. We have to free ourselves. No one else will do it for us. So with that, as always, Artist of Truth, I love everyone. Talk with you soon.